I'm meteorologist Jay Prater. The reason we're breaking in right now, this radar indication has just popped up to the west of Lincolnville. This has spun up very quickly, and unfortunately, this is probably a developing tornado. If we don't have a tornado already on the ground, we don't have a tornado warning from the National Weather Service, but anytime you see a hot stinger like that wrap up, if you're anywhere from Lincolnville towards Lost Springs here in Marion County, you need to seek shelter right now. This is a significant velocity signature. It is moving to the northeast, so this is going to be a close call for Harrington. So my suggestion is you go ahead and activate those tornado precautions, because it really doesn't matter which radar we're looking at, because right now that's the Wichita radar, and I'm going to switch over to the Topeka radar, and both of them still showing that hot stinger right there. So just to the west of Lincolnville, I'm going to go back over to the Topeka radar because that's where it's closest, and that is right near Pilsen. So if you're in and around Pilsen, let's go ahead and get down to your shelters. And this is Marion County. Do me a favor. Cam, get into the chat room at ICT. Ask them if they're seeing this, because we want to go ahead and get some information. And we got Stu 30. We're on the web too, correct? Okay. So we don't have a warning out from the Weather Service, and this thing is really just wrapped up. It's wrapped in rain here, and I got to thank Cameron. Cameron was doing a radar thing. It's completely embedded in the rain core, so you're not going to see this one coming at you. You're just going to have very heavy rain, but this is a velocity signature, which is very compelling. I'm going to zoom in a little bit tighter. Let me stop the rotation on this, and here we go. And this is very close to Quail Creek Road and Remington Road. That's where we have that very hot rotational signature, which probably might be a tornado on the ground at this point in the vicinity of Pilsen. So this is right along 290th. There's Lincolnville and US 56 as it heads to the north. This is radar indicated only at this point. And you know me, I'm not just going to get excited about anything, but this is a very impressive looking radar signature to just spin up so quickly over the past few minutes. Got any feedback from Wichita on that yet? All right, so we're looking using the Wichita radar. There you go. See, from their velocity scan right there near Pilsen is what they're seeing. And now the fact is that we use multiple radars and we're seeing the same kind of image. That's what's really concerning. If it was just one radar, you'd wait a few volume scans, see if this data was settling down or not. And it's right in the middle of a whole bunch of rain. I mean, it's just sitting right there in the center. And now let's go over to the correlation coefficient. Basically, this is one of the debris detectors, and we're going to be watching around Pilsen to see if we start to get any kind of indicator. But since we're pretty late at night here and we're into the rerun programming, sorry if I'm going to interrupt your evening, but if you know anybody here in northern Marion County, north of Pilsen, Lincolnville, up US 56, all the way over towards Harrington in Dickinson County. Once this gets out of Marion County into Dickinson County, not going to be as concerned about it because that's where it kind of transitions out. This is where we kind of cross the line, and instead of coverage out of KAKE land and the Wichita stations, that's where we start to get into the coverage by the Topeka stations at that point. And so we're going to keep an eye on this. As long as we have that radar indication, I'm going to continue this coverage. We got any kind of chatter in the chat rooms, because I know we don't have any spotters anywhere near this thing. Because talk about just popping up in the middle of nowhere, even with the Wichita radar. This is a really hot signature going on just to the west of Lincolnville. And even at the current time, there's not even a severe thunderstorm warning. I got a feeling once they get a look at this, they're going to issue at least a severe thunderstorm warning, if not more with that. Yeah, turn on your mic and pot yourself up. So as we continue to look north of Pilsen here, that area of circulation, I heard any...
Okay, they're looking into it, but I mean, if you watch the loop, I mean, that thing's a supercell. It's wrapping up, and that couplet is quite impressive.
This is a hot couplet that just popped up out of nowhere. So I'm meteorologist Jay Prater along with Cameron Venable, and the reason we are on is because we are seeing striking indications on radar of a tornado that might be in progress. No, we don't have an official warning from the National Weather Service at this point. We were just kind of, doing our due diligence and looking around here, and this very hot velocity stinger just popped up here. Storm relative, base velocity, it's on both of them, and this is to the west of Lincolnville, and is going to cross US 56 here. And let's go over the correlation coefficient, and don't really have anything Don't really have anything at this point that's indicative. Don't really have a debris signature or debris signal that is, you know, there's nothing glaring as far as the debris signature goes. But as far as a rotational signature,
too, Jay?
Yeah, go ahead.
You see the one that's northeast of it too? Just look a little further to the northeast. There's another little couplet.
So there's the signal you're talking about. I'm using the oh, you're talking about up here?
No.
Or
northeast. It's just southeast of Harrington.
Just southeast of Harrington.
It's not as pronounced, but it's
okay.
It just popped up.
But that right there.
Yeah,
right? Look at that. Oh, now we got gate to gate. This is okay. We're going to stay with this because right there is where we have. Yeah, I'm going to say we probably have something going on, and this is between. They put
tornado possible. They're putting out a severe warning, 70-mile-per-hour winds, quarter-size hail.
Okay, so a severe thunderstorm warning is coming out from the National Weather Service, and with the phrasing tornado possible. But given that kind of rotational signature, I would go ahead and treat it like a tornado warning, even though it's a severe thunderstorm warning at this point. We're going to keep looking at the correlation coefficient to see if this thing kicks up any kind of debris. But honestly, this kind of caught both of us by surprise, and we were looking in there. Admittedly, with that strong a velocity signature, I would expect to be seeing some kind of debris kicked up at some point, and we're not yet. So we're going to hang with this for a few more minutes and keep looking at it. We normally don't, you know me, I'll get terribly excited over just any kind of radar data, but that's very impressive. I mean, there's your outbound, there's your inbound velocity, and that's a very strong area of rotation. If you're in Pilsen, it's now north of Pilsen. It's northwest of Lincolnville, far enough where any potential tornado is going to cross 56 in the vicinity of Lost Springs, and it might, you know, extreme southern parts of Dickinson County, and then at that point, it's going to leave the Cape viewing area once it gets out of Cake Land, because once that leaves, Marion County gets over to Morris County and Council Grove. That's where the other stations will pick it up. And look at that, Cameron. Yeah, we're not crazy.
That's very, very convincing. This thing spun up. I mean, you could tell it's a supercell. The couplet.
56 340th Street, Quail Creek Road. That's where we have very strong rotational signature. If you're anywhere around Lost Spring, I would treat this as if it's a tornado in progress. Can I guarantee it at this point? No, but as we go to the reflectivity, notice it's just surrounded and wrapped in rain, that signature. So even if it's in there, you're not going to see it. You're not going to have any chance to go out and look at it.
Probably one of the stronger tornadic signatures of the night.
It is I don't think we've seen anything this strong.
No, we haven't seen anything like this.
No. So this is the strongest rotational signature, and it's not just this one radar. Sometimes you have side lobing and you have other things that you got to look, twice or three times at, but that's not going on in this case, because here we are at the Wichita radar, and we got the hot inbound, the hot outbound there. Admittedly, it's as far as the stinger, with the highest inbound and outbound right next to each other, no, but just based on that and this velocity, we go to the storm relative map, and this is incredible inbound velocity right here with that. So if there's not a tornado, I would definitely think that one is possible. Let's go with the correlation coefficient. No, I got to admit, not really seeing a signal there. So hopefully I'm just, you're missing a little bit of Modern Family tonight. But there's just too much going on here for us to ignore. Let me go back over to the closest radar, which is the one out of Wabaunsee County. Even though the Weather Service office is located in Topeka, the radar is near Alma here in Wabaunsee County, and that is the closest radar to that thunderstorm.
Tornado warning from Topeka.
And okay, so here's the deal. This is Wichita's turf. This is Topeka's turf.
So they're going for
There's the county line. So the folks in Topeka are saying, hey, we're going tornado warning with this.
Yeah.
Whereas Wichita has decided, all right, we're going to stick with the severe thunderstorm warning. But based on that rotational signature, I completely get what Topeka is doing tonight with this. And anywhere around Lost Springs, Harrington, south of Harrington, and crossing into Council Grove here, and to Delavan and Burdick. Now, once we get in here, that starts to get out of our territory. So even if you're watching us on satellite, you're not being received over here. This is going to be some off air. But is there any? Go to the Topeka office room in addition to the Wichita room, and see if we got any kind of spotter or any kind of chaser reports that have come in with this.
We don't have anything quite yet. Radar indicated tornado, $half dollar sized hail. Storm is moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. But I mean, that is a very obvious couplet. So.
Yeah, this is the most obvious couplet we've seen all night, all day. And now, okay, latest volume scan looks like it's slightly weaker, but still impressive. Just to show you where we've been. Here we are the past 20 minutes. You could see it. I mean, it's fingerprints. It starts in your Pilsen here. Watch this. Right there, spin, 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 spin. So yeah, that thing is rotating like a top. I would say that there's a pretty good chance that we have.
ICT is going tornado warning now.
All right, so here comes the tornado warning from Wichita. So Wichita is now upgrading the severe thunderstorm warning to a tornado warning, and there you go. So there's the red polygon that's encompassing the area we've been looking at. So now both Wichita and Topeka, excuse me, are taking a look at that same couplet that we saw and said, okay, let's upgrade that to a tornado warning. Ooh. Admittedly, as we go to the correlation coefficient, honestly, I don't know about you, Cam, but I don't expect more of a signal by now with that storm.
I would think so. If there's a tornado on the ground, I would assume.
And that would be one of the reasons why maybe, you know, kind of thinking, let's see how this is going to develop. But the only bad thing is this circulation is in the middle of all this. This is all rain.
You're not going to see it.
And hail. You're seeing nothing. You're just going to have a wall of water, and if there's a tornado in there, it's just going to appear when it's on top. You're going to have absolutely no chance to see that ahead of time. And so that's why we got the velocity data here.
It looks like it's two supercells because one of them's on top of the other, because you would think where the hook is near Marion would be where all the rotation is, and it's not. This is further north, so this is likely a supercell that's going to be run into by another one to the south.
Yep, and boy, talk about that thing when it was near Pilsen. Really spun up. So
it
right
looks
now,
like it's moving probably 35, 40 miles per hour now.
Okay, hey, let's check north of Marion. We're going to have to keep an eye on this too. Now, maybe I don't know, that may be side-lobing the way that's shaping up, but I'll flip over to a couple other radars and look at it. But let's go back over to Topeka radar. No, okay, from Topeka, not as concerned about what's going on with Marion. That'll be an area we continue to watch, but that, you know, but still, okay, this thing is finally, looks like it's starting to kind of maybe shear itself out now from Lost Springs, so that couplet's starting to lose its identity. We're going to let this thing get out of Cake Land. It's not going to take long, just a few more minutes, and we're going to cross it over into Council Grove. But boy, oh boy, I tell you, when that thing popped
spun up quick.
It's very quickly. We just